Hi guys, I'm back. I'm Kim Steven Yap from the Philippines. I am an international master. You can call me Coach Steven. And today I'm going to show you a game where I beat a GM using a chess trap. And this was a very important moment for me because in this game, I clinched the gold medal after I defeated him. And this was the Asian individuals, and I lifted our team, the Philippine team, to second place behind the Indian team. We were ahead of the Chinese team and the Kazakhstan team. And yeah, let's start. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6. This is the Italian game. Of course, it makes sense. We all just control the center. I played bishop C4, and he played bishop C5. And in this position, I usually just play B4, just sacrificing this pawn, and play C3. But I knew he was prepared for this because I'm sure he was looking at our game, at my games. So I played a different opening. I played C3 instead. And then, well, I was preparing for this because I found out a trap when I played a blitz game against a friend. I found out there was a trap here. I didn't even know that it was a trap until I finished this game against him because my friend told me that it was a trap. Oh, really? That it was played before, actually. And so he played knight f6. I played d4, attacking the bishop, take, take. And then he cannot go bishop b6 here. You will end up in a bad position. And yeah, it would be a really very bad position. I could go d5 first, since if you attack my bishop, I go bishop g5. And black would be so, like his king is exposed. Black would be in a lot of trouble. And that was not what happened. Of course he knew that. I mean, it's easy for a GM, it's easy to calculate. But I had set up a much different trap against him. So I played bishop d2, knight takes d2. Well, I had a game here after bishop d2 where you could just take the pawn on e4, but I would be doing this. Well, I would win back the pawn, of course, after bishop takes f7 and then queen b3 check. Because now, this is a double attack. If you play d5, I would take the knight. I have this game where I needed a draw and still against GM in order to get my first Grandmaster norm, and I was successful at it. This was the game. But in our game, he took the bishop on d2, I retake, d5, and this is in Nimzowitsch, my system. You play d5 in order to regain control of the center, at least like break the center, of course, and in order to set your pieces free, like the light squared bishop, and you will have some space activity. So I took back the pawn on d5, he took back, it just makes all sense, and then I just castled, he castled, it's another thing in sense, and this is the moment where I started my trap, and I was hoping that he would really take the bait. And so in this position, I played knight e5. Now is the final moment. In this position, he thought for like more than 30 minutes. His clock actually from 1 hour and 30 minutes, it went to 45 minutes. And I was so confident now because, oh, he doesn't know about this. So maybe he would fall for the trap. And I was really hoping that he would do this because I kept standing and just feeling confident. And then he fell for it. He took the pawn on d4. Well, there was a way to equalize this, but if you're not prepared, then I'm sure you would just react impulsively because, well, I might be thinking that he might be thinking that I would go knight e4, and then he has knight f4, and I'll end up a pawn down and in a lot of trouble. But in this position, what do you think is the best move? Well, you could pause the video if you want to find the best move, but now let's resume. What I did is I played knight b3. And this is the start of the trap, since you're forced to capture the knight on b3. Well, the thing about playing c5, I would just take the pawn on c5. And if you play knight c6, of course I will not capture because I still end up losing a pawn, but there is a very strong reply here. Knight takes f7. Attacking the queen and the knight at the same time. And if you take the knight, then I would win an exchange for a piece. And then it would be just so good for white. This is another winning position. And so he took the knight on b3, and I took back. He took the rook on a1 so fast. There was a way to equalize in this position, but he just took the rook on a1 because he really doesn't know what he was doing. And in here, I was just winning after bishop takes f7, because of course you cannot take the bishop. I would take your queen. You have to move your king. You went with king h8. I am not planning to take the knight. That knight is going to get captured anyways in the future. I played queen h5 here, trying to set up the mate. Like knight g6 here is the plan. And so he went with g6. But you could also play h6, but this position, I would still be winning. Because after rook d1, black cannot even move his queen. For example, queen f6, I would go knight g6, he would go king h7, I would take the rook. And now this, I could just take the knight, I'd be ending up a piece up. And so he's not able to move his queen. He cannot go queen e7, of course. There's even a triple fork, a family fork. Attacking queen, rook, and the king. Of course, I'll take the queen. And of course, he's going to have to play bishop d7 here. Funny thing is, I would just take back. I play this move. And I would go something, or maybe much better, I would just go knight g6 first. He go king h7, take rook, queen takes knight, rook takes bishop. And he's forced to play rook d8, because what else can he do? Because there's only one open file here for him, available for him. And this is it. But the problem is, after this position, after I play queen e2, it's clear that the knight gets trapped in a1. He's going to capture it in the next few moves. And his queen is frozen. He cannot go queen d6 because, of course, I go queen e8, queen f8, and then here, there's another tactic. Well, I'm a very tactical person. I would just go bishop h7, he would take, and then I will take the queen on f8, and it's just over for black. But after this position, well, he didn't play h6. He was thinking about this, so he played something like g6 in order to survive for a bit more. Well, it is important still, because he was hoping that I would blunder. But I went on to play a very tactical way of winning the game. Well, here, this knight cannot just go out. Maybe he could go, maybe he plans to move his knight like right now, but the problem is I might go to bishop d3. There's always a way for me to win this knight with such a king that's naked. And yeah, here, this is what happened. He played queen f5. And so he was trying to exchange the queen. Well, if I take the queen and he would take back, I'm sure I could still this position. I'm just a pawn up, and it's just better because in chess, a pawn is enough to win. But after queen f5, I wanted to really be aggressive and just, I just wanted, I'm sure that I know that that this is just a crushing position, because if I exchange the queens now, then how could I get a better way of attacking this very, very exposed king? So I played queen d1. I want to keep the queen. He played b5, trying to be tricky in the position. I checked. He blocked with the queen. I was planning to play queen d5. Well, he has to move to protect the rook, because if we take the bishop, I take the rook. He has to block. I moved here. He went here. And I played bishop d3. Of course, the threat is to take the pawn on h7. Anyway, I could always take the knight on a1. He played queen to g7, and then I played queen d8. Well, the plan is to checkmate him. For example, he goes something like this. Checkmate. And now here, he was annoyed already. He felt very uncomfortable, so he already sacrificed his queen. Now this is over, because I would already end up like a piece up. And now I went here. I was not minding of winning this game positionally. I still want to checkmate him. And here is what happened. And I played rook d6 check. If he moves his king, it's going to checkmate him. And if he take the bishop, well, looks like these pawns are just going to get gobbled up. I played there. Well, without a piece, how else can you survive? So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something from the lesson. If you have questions, feel free to go to our page, Chessmatic website on Facebook, or on the Facebook, and you can also email me in my email address, Kim Steven Yap at chessmatic.com. Thank you and have a good day. Goodbye.